Hi everybody, it's Amalia and I'm here today with another Oso Inspired. This is the Oso Inspired for February 2026 and this is Alicia's from Call Me Crafty Al's collaboration. And this month we're inspired by Tina Smith from Cards and Coffee Time. This is the inspiration piece from Tina and I'm using a pre-made background from my stash. And I also am going to be using some of the glazes and pastes from Brutus Monroe that I have in my stash. This is a Chroma Opaque Green. That's the first one I'm starting with. And it's brand spanking new. I never used it. So I'm going to take some of the opaque green and spread it onto my stencil. I'm trying to spread it over areas that are not green so the colors underneath can contrast against the green. My next color is this gorgeous pastel-y pink. It's a really pretty color. It does dry transparent, however, so it kind of disappears against the background. You can still see it, it's pink and such, but it's not opaque like that green is opaque. Next color I'm using is a beautiful purple color. This is called a velveteen glaze, and so this is going to be an opaque color like the green, and it works out really well. I went in with some more pink and green, and here's what it looks like. I've got to let it dry, so I'll set that aside, and I'll start on another piece of scrap background paper from my stash and another stencil. This is a Hero Art stencil called Stripes. And the glaze that I'm using is called Chroma Glaze, and it's a gold color. It's also a translucent color, so it will dry like semi-transparent. It'll have the color and the sheen of gold, but you'll still be able to see the color underneath it. Hey everybody, this video is part of a collaboration, and you can see everyone's videos by clicking on the playlist or the team links in the description box below. There'll also be a link for Tina Smith's inspiration piece, and if you're not familiar with her, you should definitely check her out. She's one of my favorite YouTube card makers. Now I'm working on the background for my card, and I've broken out my oxide inks and my oxide ink dedicated brushes. This stencil is from Jane Davenport, and it comes in a set of 3, and I got it at officesupply.com. Now I've done blues and yellows, and I'm going into my purples, and I'm noticing that the purple and the yellow next to each other are canceling each other out. So in other words, I got a little bit of the purple on the yellow, and it's kind of creating a mud color. So I grab some washi tape, and I'm starting to cover up petals that I don't want to get color on. It's a little tedious to rip up all the washi and place it just right so it doesn't cover up a petal when I want to add color, and it does cover up a petal when I don't want to get color on it. So I'm putting up all my colors. I'm on green now, and the colors look great when this is all finally done, and I'm really happy with the way it turns out. Here's the final reveal. I really like the way it turned out. I end up using some stickles for the center of the flowers. And please give a thumbs up if you like the way this came out. And if you're inspired by this project as well, use the hashtag #IwasOsoInspired or #IOsoInspired collab. Now it's time to add my background to my card base. And I'm using my taperunner.com tape runner. And if you use code Amalia10 at taperunner.com to buy your tape runner supplies, you'll get a 10% discount off of your total purchase. And hashtag overgluer, overadheser. If you know, you know. I created a shaker with the packaging from the stencils I was using. And I have some of these sequins in my stash. These are clear with a pink hue. And then I have a bunch of colors that would go pretty well with the colors that I used on my card. So I filled that up. I added a frame to it. And then I added another gold frame on top of that. Before I add that to my card base, I need to make the little gift packages. I'll add that to my card base, but first I need to make the little gift packages. And I'm using the paper that we stenciled over with the glazes at the beginning of the video. And I just used some rectangle and square dies I have in my stash and cut those down. Now I'm going to be adding some ribbons and bows to our little packages. I used some glue dots and some tape to take this fine white ribbon from onto the little boxes, and let me show you how I make a bow. I make little bunny ears, and then I loop one through the other and pull tight. You've got to finagle it a little bit, pulling tight to secure the knot, and then pulling on each end to make sure that you have a nice little bow. See, I'm just using some glue boogers from a glue dot to add it to the top of the box, and just cut off the tails, and you've got yourself a little gift wrapped and ribboned box. Here's the finished gift box, and I did that to 10 more. I didn't need all 10 of them, but I did it. And now maybe I'll have some extras for future projects. They came out so cute. Now I am going to adhere the shaker to the front of the card. And I like how you can see the whole card. I worked hard on that background. I wanted to be able to see it. So next step is to add my little gift boxes, and I'll show you what it looks like in the end. Before I share my final card, I want to share with you a tip about using clear stamps. Clear stamps don't have any cushioning to them, so stamping them onto a hard surface, sometime you may get skipping on your stamping. So I was just stamping on my glass surface and using VersaFine Clair. And when you use a mouse pad, that gives a little bit of cushioning, and it makes sure that the stamp makes contact with the paper. VersaFine Clair is the best ink for stamping. But another tip for you, it's a slow drying ink, so it's easy to smudge. And so I use my static puff from that I use for embossing, and I use that on the ink, and it dries it up right away. There's no smearing, and that's another tip for you today. Here's my card. I love all the color and the shine and my wrapped little gifts there. Thank you, Tina Smith, for the inspiration. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And here's a side by side. I think I gave it my own little touch, and thanks for stopping by, everybody. Bye.